Autism affects 1 out of 150 children, and experts are still unsure of the exact cause. Dan and Lori are parents of 7 children, 4 of whom have autism. Guys, this is such an important debate. I want to get Dr. Sears' opinion because all we're doing is showing your 2 sides of the story, and it is so important that parents make an informed decision. Dr. Sears?
I do not want everybody to stop vaccinating because then we're going to see polio come back. Kids are going to start dying of measles again. But
I agree.
This is what I do in my office. I try to look at each child individually. I want to get them eventually fully vaccinated unless they have a lot of risk factors for autism. If your family was in my practice, there's no way I would vaccinate your kids. But I would also talk to you about how to minimize your risks for catching those important illnesses. Vaccine companies, at least they are making changes. They took out the mercury. A few years ago, everybody thought it was the mercury in the vaccines causing the autism.
Well, you know that they didn't take out all the mercury, that the flu shot still has mercury,
the flu shot still has it, but most of the childhood vaccines, it's been removed.
The tetanus shot still has mercury?
We do know mercury can cause autism. We know that. We know some of the vaccines probably cause some cases of autism. I have plenty of autistic kids that never got any vaccines.
Me too.
Right. You know, we have that. So as a pediatrician, I encourage my patients to not blow off vaccines. Still get vaccinated, but I want to do it as safely as I can. So
individually.
So I do it 1 or 2 at a time. I still start at 2 months with the important ones, especially the whooping cough. That's very, very prevalent in this country still. A lot of people don't know that, so we do that early. The meningitis vaccines, those are very safe vaccines, not a lot of side effects to worry about. Some of the other ones, some of the more controversial ones, we wait till later, like the MMR. You know, and
that's what we
measles,
did.
mumps, and
that's what we
had.
had.
That's what we did with Adam, though, and he got.
That's what we looked back at.
That's what we did with Adam, and he got autism the worst. He didn't get his vaccines.
But he still ended up with autism.
See, and I think that's an excellent point. Although we debate this, it's really important that to let everyone know that most physicians support vaccination, and we don't want to go back to a time where when someone comes into the hospital, we're worried about all of these diseases that have pretty much been wiped out of our children.
When you look at the MMR, because this is important, a lot of people talk about the MMR. There have been a number of international studies that show no association between the MMR and autism.
Well, that's what has us so perplexed, because Adam didn't get the MMR, so he was 5.
Vaccines don't cause all cases of autism. And as far as blowing off vaccines, not a chance. There are people with increased risk factors who should get certain vaccines. But as you just said, Jim, you wouldn't vaccinate this next child. This family has a genetic or a familial tendency to autism. Vaccines given later are safer.
It's very important that people at home get the message that if they don't have risk factors, I don't want everybody blowing off vaccines because I don't want to go back to the Middle Ages. I don't think any pediatrician wants to see
But you are
kids.
recommending deferring it for 6 to 12 to 24 months, and that's a very different position than the vast majority of them.
I like to space them out
99% of doctors disagree with me. I understand that.
Because
and I don't,
there's not data.
You know,
to support
we
your
can
position.
debate this for
There's
the
more
next
toxins
30
in the
hours
right.
straight, and we're not going to come to a conclusion. The reality is kids are exposed to so many things nowadays. You know, yes, vaccines, there could prove to be a link someday. We can't say that there isn't, but there's no proof now. And I think the overwhelming majority of physicians obviously do support vaccination right now.
I think it needs to be done safe. There needs to be a safer system than our current system. I'm still wondering, you know, you guys have 7 kids, you're 4 for 7 so far. What made you think to go on and try for number 8?
Wow.
We wanted a nice big family.
I think it's crazy, but I was hoping that maybe we could have another child that would be typical to support. We're worried about those kids when we are gone. We're worried about those 4 kids when we're gone.
You are saints, and your patience is astounding just watching you on the video. And thank you, doctors, for your opinions. Thank you, Dr. Sears. To find out more about autism, please go to our website at thedoctorstv.com.